Hello students. Today we are going to look into with a new topic that is polymers that is existing in our day-to-day life and making our life beautiful as well as it making our life easy enough by using these polymers. So we need to learn what is polymer. We need to know that the things that are making our life easy and helpful. So what are actually it is. Let's see. Polymer chemistry is the study of the synthesis, characterization and properties of polymer molecules or macromolecules, which are large molecules composed of repeating chemical subunits known as monomers. So what actually the polymer chemistry is? Basically it is dealing with the monomers, the chemical properties, the chemical reactions, their characteristics of monomers which combines together and form a macromolecule known as polymers. And that makes our life easy. So, what are polymers? They are macro-sized, high molecular mass compounds formed by the combination of a large number of simple molecules or repeating units. Repeating units are known as monomers. The monomers are the simple molecules which combines to give polymers. The process of joining together of a large number of the monomers is termed as polymerization, which gives a 3D network. So what is polymerization? Polymerization is the process of reacting monomer molecules together in a chemical reaction to form polymer chains or 3D networks. A polymer formed from one type of monomers, they are known as homopolymers that we will be looking to the further slides. Right, now we need to understand here it has been given a mind map for the classification of polymers and what actually the polymers are. So we will be understanding this, that what polymer is. So what is a polymer or what are polymer? Polymers are macromolecules. It is composed of many joined monomers. Monomers that can be of one kind. Right, if it is of one kind, it is known as homopolymer. Monomers can be of more than one kind. So either they are known as heteropolymers or it can be a copolymer. Right. Next, polymers are classified according to the chemical composition and structure. Polymers classified according to its application, such as what things we need to make, that is sheets, molded objects, elastomers, adhesives, coatings, fiber yarns, etc. What and accordingly their physical properties, that is they include thermal properties which can also be divided further with respect to thermoplastic and thermoset. Thermoplastic is characterized by the glass transition temperature, melting point, degree of crystallinity. And what is thermoset? Thermoset is amorphous and non-melting. Fine. Then physical properties are also affected by their chain length, chain topology, cross link or side groups. Polymers can be synthetic. If it is synthetic, then they are made by either by addition polymerization or by condensation polymerization. Next, polymers that are synthetic, they may have spaghetti-like conformations, range of molar masses. Polymers can be natural, such as cellulose, rubber. Now, here we are going to see the classifications of polymers based on origin of the source, based on structure, based on molecular forces and based on modes of polymerization. When polymer is classified on the basis of origin of source, it means they are natural or semi-synthetic and synthetic. Next is based on the structure, that is depend upon their arrangement of the molecules, how the monomers are linked with the another monomers. So that is coming under the based on structure. So we have three different types of polymers, that is linear polymers, branch chain polymers and cross-linked polymers. Next, they are dependent on the based on the molecular forces, that is how weakly or strongly the monomers are attached or linked with each other. And last is based on polymerization, that is which type of chemical reaction, I mean how the monomers are linked with each other. Whether they are linked with each other just by only addition reactions, that means one joining over the another, by breaking up the bond, or by loss of some molecules, that is the condensation polymers. So each classifications we are going to see it one by one in detail. First is based on origin. That is, you can see here the natural polymers. So many variety of polymers we are able to obtain from our nature. Right. That is starch, from potato starch is obtained. Okay. Then protein we are having from this type of food. Even fish is there here. From the trees you are able to obtain the rubber. From vegetables we are obtaining fibers. So these all are the examples of the natural polymers, that is starch, cellulose, proteins, right? These all are based on animals and plants. Next is synthetic polymers. Synthetic polymers, you can see that terylene is there. Synthetic means completely artificial polymers that are man-made. Teflon, synthetic rubber, terylene, these all comes under the synthetic polymer that makes your life easy and better. Semi-synthetic polymers, which is meant that is natural polymer by simple chemical treatment, they give rise to a semi-synthetic polymers, that is they are mostly derived from naturally occurring polymers by chemical modifications. The best example is vulcanized rubber, cellulose nitrate and so on. Even rayon is also one of the example of semi-synthetic polymer. Next classification of polymer is that depends on that based on the structure. That is linear polymer, branch chain polymer, cross-linked polymers. In linear polymers, the monomers are linked together to form the linear chains. Example, polyethylene, polyester, nylon, etc. Here you can see that polyethylene means number of ethene molecules combining together and forms a polyethylene. Similarly, polyester means when it is having an ester group, and nylon is an polyamide polymer. Branch chain polymers can be visualized as a linear polymer with side chains of the same polymer attached to the main chain. You can see here the example is amylopectin. We have the glucose molecules, right? Glucose and fructose we have here. Glucose molecules is there, which is having your this is called the cyclic structure of the glucose. They are attached with each other with this alpha 1,6, or we can say C16, because carbon but carbon 1 and carbon 6, they are having a branching. So this is an example of a branched polymer. Then cross-linked polymer, the best example is bakelite and melamine, because you can see cross-link is one layer is attached to the another layer might be attached with some other carbon atoms or carbon chain. So in this manner the cross-link polymers are formed. The cross-linked polymers form long chains, either branch or linear, that can form the covalent bonds between the polymer molecules. Example is bakelite and melamine. Polymers are also classified on the basis of the molecular forces, that are elastomers, fibers, thermoplastics, thermosetting polymers. Now we are going to quickly check how these four polymers are different from each other and what are their applications. Now if we are talking about elastomers, you can see the elastomers are used as in automotive gaskets, industrial seals as well as for roofing material. Both natural and synthetic rubbers are considered to be elastomers. Right, a basic example of a natural rubber is sap from the rubber tree. Some common examples of synthetic rubber includes materials used to make substance such as industrial seals, automotive gaskets and roofing material. But basically, how will you define elastomers? So elastomers are the polymers having very weak intermolecular forces between the polymer chains. I repeat, elastomers are the polymers having very weak intermolecular forces between the polymer chains. The weak forces permit the polymer to be stretched. Thus, elastomer possess elastic character. Even vulcanized rubber is also an example of an elastomer. Fibers are the polymers which have strong intermolecular forces between the chains. These are either hydrogen bonds or dipole-dipole interaction. So basic difference between fibers and elastomers, that is elastomers are having weak intermolecular forces of attraction, whereas fibers are having strong intermolecular forces of attraction between the chains. Right. So the fibers examples are nylon 66 and other polymers as well can be a fiber from which we obtain the fiber, that is nylon 6, nylon 66, polyesters, polyamide. These all are giving us the fibers. Next type of polymer based on the molecular forces is thermoplastic. So what is a thermoplastic? These are the polymers in which the intermolecular forces of attraction are intermediate between those of elastomers and fibers. Now what does that mean? Because it means that the intermolecular forces of attraction is more than elastomers but less than the fiber. So that is the intermediate. These polymers do not have any cross link between the chains. They can be easily molded on heating. Right, so that is the reason why we say thermoplastics soften on heating and become hard on cooling. For example, polyethylene, polystyrene, polyvinyl chloride, etc. Right, here you can see that which all plastic materials are made with the help of the thermoplastics. Next come thermosetting plastic. Now thermosetting plastic is a polymer that irreversibly becomes rigid when heated. Such a material is also known as thermostat or thermosetting polymer. Initially the polymer is a liquid or soft solid, but when heat is provided, that is heat provides energy for chemical reaction that increases the cross linking between the polymer chain. The rate of curing, that is curing the plastic मतलब हम बोलते हैं ना डॉक्टर के पास गए हैं तो क्योर होने गए हैं, so this is curing the plastic को हम और better बना रहे हैं. So the rate of curing may be increasing in many cases by increasing pressure or by adding a catalyst. Vulcanized rubber, fiberglass, polyester resin, polyurethane, melamine, bakelite, silicone resin, epoxy resin. These all are the examples of the thermosetting polymers. Hence, thermosetting polymers have extensive crosslinks formed between the polymer chains on heating. They undergo a permanent change on heating. Here is the picture where थर्मोसेटिंग प्लास्टिक्स आर यूज्ड, है ना, जहाँ पे पीछे स्टैम्प लगे रहते हैं क्रॉकरीज में कि दे आर यू कैन this can be used in oven as well. Why? Because they are heat resistant, so they are the thermosetting plastic. Thermo प्लास्टिक से भी आपका डिनर सेट बनता है, थर्मोसेटिंग प्लास्टिक से भी आपका डिनर सेट बनता है. जो थर्मोसेटिंग प्लास्टिक से बनता है दे आर हीट रेजिस्टेंस, दे आर अनब्रेकेबल, right? So that is the basic difference between the two things, and number of times this difference has been asked for thermosetting and thermoplastic. Fourth classification of polymers is based on the synthesis, that how they are synthesized, मतलब उसकी प्रिपरेशन कैसे होती है, दो मोनोमर्स आपस में कैसे केमिकली रिएक्ट करते हैं. So they are addition polymers and condensation polymers. Now, on viewing the addition polymers, right, we have already learned about the addition reactions. Now, addition reactions generally takes place in the unsaturated compounds, that is either it has to contain double bond or triple bond. So, same here as well, addition polymers are formed from unsaturated monomers. The most prevalent addition polymers are polyolefins, that is derived from the conversions of olefins. Olefin means alkene having the double bonds to the long chain alkanes. So here is the generalizations for obtaining polyethene. Okay, that is you can see your R. Now R can be any alkyl group. Okay, so it is CH double bond CH2. If R is H, then it will be ethene. Okay, so here as well we will be having CH2 bond CH2N. Now these conversions can be induced by a variety of catalysts including free radicals, acids, carbon ions and metal complexes. Now depending upon this, the type of polymerization reaction will change, that we will be learning in later on. Example of such polyolefins can be polythenes. As I told you, if R is replaced by H, it will become ethene. So it will be an example of polyethene. Similarly, polypropylene, if R is replaced by the alkyl group. Polyvinyl chloride. Okay. So if R is replaced by Cl, then we will be having a polyvinyl chloride. Teflon, that is tetrafluoroethane. Okay, polytetrafluoroethane is the common name for Teflon. Then Buna rubbers, polyacrylates, polystyrene and so on. Now, difference between the low density polymer polyethylene, low density polyethylene and high density polyethylene, as we have talked about the catalyst, right? So this is the basic difference. Then when we add catalyst, when we change the catalyst, when we change the reaction conditions, the same monomer the same monomer can give rise to a different types of the polymer, that is with respect to the physical property. Here on your left hand side you can see the low density polyethylene and your right hand side you can see the high density polyethylene. Now low density polyethylene is obtained under the high pressure of 1000 to 2000 atmosphere at a temperature of 350 Kelvin to 570 Kelvin in the presence of traces of dioxygen or a peroxide as an initiator catalyst. Now in this, what is the reaction conditions? That is 350 Kelvin to 570 Kelvin. Whereas in your high density you can see the temperature is 333 Kelvin to 343 Kelvin. And pressure is your 6 to 7, whereas your pressure is 1000 to 2000. Okay, now in low density polyethylene, free radical addition polymerization takes place. They are highly branched, they have the low density, as they are low density, so their melting point is low, they are transparent, moderate tensile strength, chemically inert, tough but flexible. Right, they are used for packaging, insulations, manufacturing squeeze bottles, pipes, toys, etc. Whereas your high density polymers, they undergo the polymerizations with the help of coordination polymerizations. Your linear molecules are closely packed. Here, as they are linear molecules, so they have the good amount of strength, they are highly dense, they are translucent, chemically inert, quite harder, but so where they are used for manufacturing containers, housewares and pipes. So different plastic bottles are available at your home. You can check their flexibility, you can check their appearance, and you can classify them as low density polyethylene or high density polyethylene. Here are the few common example of addition polymers that are there in your syllabus and that has been asked. Okay, so polyethylene, this is the monomer, this is the polymer, right? A square bracket will come and end repeating unit. Where are they used? Polypropylene, polystyrene, polyvinyl chloride, Teflon, polyacrylonitrile, which is also known as acrylan or Orlon, and even it is having this abbreviation like PAN, PAN. PVC as well, they are undergoing your addition polymerizations, whereas in nylon 6 they are undergoing hydrolysis, or we can also say they are again undergoing the condensation polymerization. So this helps you to know that both addition and condensation polymers can be homopolymer or can be copolymer. Next, what is condensation polymerization? So these are the polymers which are formed by the condensation polymerization. That is a polymer formed by the condensation of two or more than two monomers with the elimination of simple molecules like water, ammonia, alcohol, etc. And the phenomenon is known as condensation polymerization. Some common condensation polymers examples, right? Here you can see that polyamide polymer is a condensation polymers. Okay, now here you can see this is an adipic acid, as I told you, right? It is having 6 carbon atoms. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And this is your hexamethylene diamine where we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 methylene group, that is CH2 group, and both the end it is attached with NH2. Now how does this reaction takes place? By removal of water. So how the removal of water is taking place? Hence the removal of water is taking place with respect to this. Okay, and one oxygen will be removed from this, that is H2O. Okay, so you're sorry that hydrogen won't be coming. I mean, here only one hydrogen is going to come. Okay, so your H2O is been removed. That is your one hydrogen from here and oxygen and hydrogen from here it is removed. So we are remaining with CONH bond, right? Here you can see we are remaining with CONH bond, which is a polyamide. Similarly, this is your caprolactam. Next comes polyester. Why? Because COO, it is an ester group. Here you can see the repeating group as an ester group. Here this is polyester. Right, now what is the name of this? This is phthalic acid. Okay, this is phthalic acid and ethane 1,2-diol. Right, why this is phthalic acid? Because two carboxylic group. This is one carboxylic group, this is another carboxylic group. So this is your phthalic acid reacting with ethane 1,2-diol. While heating, removal of water molecule is taken place. Now as the removal of water molecule is taken place, so here as well OH is removed and from here H is removed. Okay, here we remove from carboxylic acid, we remove OH. And now what is your carboxylic acid? It is nothing but COOH. Fine. So from here we are going to remove this. Okay. So it is going to form your ester group. Next, phenol formaldehyde resin, which is also an important type of resin because it is formed in presence of formaldehyde. Okay, so you can see phenol formaldehyde resin is known as your bakelite, phenol, and formaldehyde, that is HCHO. So you can also write as CH2O as well. You will first obtain a noble egg again by the law in presence of the acid catalyst when the addition reaction. This is simple. Now this n number of, you can name this. What will you be naming this? Orthohydroxymethyl phenol. Okay, or you can try as well by yourself. Fine. So this undergoes the reaction in presence of the acid catalyst, and you will be obtaining the novolec by the side chain reaction. Then this novolec forms a network-like structure which is known as bakelite, and bakelite is again an example of cross-linked polymers. Similarly, we obtain melamine formaldehyde polymers or melamine formaldehyde resin, you can name it. Melamine again reacting with formaldehyde as in polymer, we obtain a resin intermediate. Then polymerization takes place, means here is the place and here pink color, right? Wherever the color is given, there the attachment linkage takes place. That is why those groups have been given color. So thank you. Have a nice day. Right. Hope you have understood the classification of polymerization based on 4 different factors, that is based on source, based on structure, molecular force and synthesis. Stay here, stay home, stay happy and do your work regularly.